Hi, I'm Amanda Skelton, an independent stamping up demonstrator, and today I'd like to show you how to make this sort of pocket or a packet for a seed envelope. So these are sort of standard size seed packets that you can get from sort of garden centres, etc. And then I've just got this little pocket here so that you can give it as a gift. And then I've got these sort of garden inspired stamp sets as well. So that's what we're going to show you how to do today. So it's going to be using the Flowering Rain Boots stamp set, and as always there's a it's stuck. There is the set of dies that go with it, so it picks out most of the elements on here. So I'm going to be using the boots and the stems and the flowers. You can of course use any that you like. I have done one before where I've just not actually on a seed packet but just on a card, where I've also used the watering can, and I've had it at the top right and I've sort of angled it down as if it's watering the flowers, so that's quite a nice element you can use as well. So that's what we're going to use today. And these papers here, these are the free papers you can get as part of the celebration. They're called Simply Marbelous because they've got a marbled effect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so it comes in 6 colours, and you've got sort of a faint sort of marble effect one side, and then the other side you've got a really strong sort of marbled effect. So it's really nice papers, actually going to be really useful on this. So I'm going to do it in a slightly different colourway. Because I've chosen this seed packet for this particular one, so I've chosen colours that will pick out the yellows in it, and I'm going to use soft succulent, evening evergreen and calypso coral to pick out this sort of pinky colour of the packet. So that's what we're going to do. Right, so I shall just tell you what we need, and then I shall put the piece of paper there that will tell you, so you can pause it if you want to. So you need a piece of white cardstock that needs to measure 8 7/8 by 6 inches, and you want to score it across at 4 1/4 inches and then across to 8 1/2 inches. And then you want 2 pieces of designer series paper. The first piece you want is 4 inches by 5 3/4 inch, which is going to be the back section. And then you want another piece, and I've used the same colour, but I've just used the different sides of it just to have a bit of contrast, and that needs to be 4 inches by 4 inches. So let me just put this down here so that you can take a note of the pieces of paper that you need, and you'll need some extra white card as well to stamp the images. Okay, so we'll carry on. So the first thing you're going to have then is your white cardstock, which is going to become your pocket. Okay, so I actually messed up. I don't know if you can see on there at all. I actually messed up when I did my score line, so I've actually got 2 score lines, but I shall hopefully be able to rescue that. So you've got your score line here at 4 1/4 inches, and then you've got one down here at 8 1/2 inches. So on your 4 1/4 inches, you want to measure down from the top. You want to measure down 1 1/2 inches and make a line across the scored line you've got there. And on the bottom right, you want to measure up 2 1/4 inches from the bottom, again, just to go over where that scored line is. So that is going to become our front pocket diagonal. Okay, so let me just get my trimmer. So the first thing you need to do is, first of all, you need to cut down this score line to your marked thing. So you can also see obviously on your score line you've got, what did I say it was, 1 1/2 inches. So you can know that there you can score along to 1 1/2 inches there. Doesn't matter if it's not exactly right or not, it's just enough to have enough of a pocket. Okay, and then the next thing you want to do is cut from this line here down to this line. In fact, you can continue the line across. This section here is going to become the little tab to stick the 2 bits together to make the pocket. So apologies, I'm going to have to put my head in the way because I can't see when it's, so I can see it's slightly below there. So there you want to go from that line to that line, okay? And again, you want to cut that. Has that gone through? No, not quite. So I'm just going to use paper snips just to continue that down. There you go. So that's what you need. Keep hold of that because you might want it to stamp some of your images on in a minute. Okay. So we can get rid of, if I can find my pencil, my rubber. Where's my rubber gone? Oh, there it is. Not even on my desk. That's useful. Right, so get rid of your pencil marks. Okay. So, this is going to be your inside section. And then you're going to have this little tab here, which is what you're going to, so we're going to stick down that on this edge in a minute to make the pocket. Okay, before you stick it though, we want to put your piece of cut paper on the inside. Okay, so you're not going to see the bottom section, but you obviously want to make it as even around the top as you can, and it's up to you which pattern you want. I'm going to put the more stronger pattern there, just to do the opposite way around to that one really. So we're just going to use double-sided glue tape. Okay, again, my silicone craft mat is just so useful, and I think I might put it that way up. So you just want to offer it up, make sure that it's even all the way around. Okay, and then what we can do is we can do the front section. So what we'll need to do for the front section is we need to obviously make the diagonal. So what we want to do for the diagonal is, again, I'm going to make sure you have it the right way up that you want to show it, because obviously once you cut this way, it's not going to work if you try and turn it around for the other pattern, because it'll be the opposite corner. So we need to, so the top left, that's going to be the right height. So we need to take the diagonal. So what we're going to do is measure up 2 inches from the bottom right. I always tend to do pencil marks, but you can just use your, well, you won't be able to use it actually because you need to do it on an angle. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut from the top left down to this mark. Okay, so you can use your scorer so you can see that's about right there. Okay, and then that is going to become our front section there. Okay, right, I think we have finished with that now. So again, I'm going to get rid of the pencil marks, and I'm going to just glue that onto the front section, and it's just easier to do this before you then assemble the pocket. And what we'll do is we'll let the pocket dry, because I'll probably no, maybe I'll just use my double-sided tape. Is it called tearing tape? Okay, so I'm just going to offer this up to the front section. Okay, so I've got my tearing tape here, and what we're going to do is we're going to hide it. What you could do if you wanted to is you could put it around there, but then you can see it. So what we can do is if we put it on this side, then it's hidden. It also gives a bit more of a pocket. It's a bit tighter if you do it there. So we're going, so you can put the tab flat. Oh, I've got it all stuck to itself. There you go. So again, I'm going to use this because it stops anything from sticking to it. So we're going to do that on there. Oh, the scissors aren't very sharp. I've been using. There you go. So that in a minute is going to go across there, and then we're going to put a piece across here as well. And that will make our pockets. Okay, so we can just take off the protective layer. And then again folding that piece under. Oh, going all over the place, aren't I, today? And then just want to push it across from the top, from the bottom left, and then across there, give it a good press down, and then you've got that pocket there, and it's nice and neat here, and it's all closed here. Okay, so then you can see that that just fits in nicely in there. And the colours go quite nicely with that. Okay, so now we need to decorate it. So I'm going to use the extra card. So I'm just going to use the piece of card that I used here. And I'm going to do the boots. I'm going to do that in the evergreen, which is sort of picking out this dark colour here. Then I'm going to do the soft succulent, which will pick out the paler colour. And then I'm going to use the calypso coral for the actual flowers. Now this is a really nice ink set. It's almost like the distinctive images, in that it gives lots of different sort of layers. So I'm just going to show you on here. So you can see that you've got quite a nice dark outside, but the inside is almost sort of a shadow. So you've got the nice different layers there. Oh, if I can close it. And then I'm going to do the stalks of the flowers. Again, I'm using the soft succulent for this, so it's a bit paler. And then I'm going to do the flowers. Well, I might need to do that on a different piece of card. I haven't quite got space there. So, calypso coral. And then I've got flowers there. And in fact, what I'm going to do with the flowers is, where you've got an image that is just stamped out and it's the edge, is the coloured detail on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use I forgot, Wink of Stella, which is a glitter pen, and it's really good. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a squeeze, and what it does is it picks up the ink, I don't know if you can see, and it basically just gently colours it in, almost like it's sort of just picks up the colour that you've already used, and it just makes it a bit stronger colour, so it's just not so white. I don't know if you can see the detail before I paint it in? Can you see the detail on these here? There's tiny little dots, which are quite nice, but you, unfortunately, you sort of lose that a little bit once you sort of start picking up the ink and colouring it. But you still do get that detail, just not quite as sharp. So just give it a little squeeze, and it just lets out a little bit more of the glitter. And you probably are better off doing this once you've just stamped the image, because the ink is then a little bit damp still. It just allows you to, you can see it's darker there because there's a bit more ink there. And then you just brush it off and then it takes the colour off. Now, I don't know if you can see, hopefully the light will show. Let's try in there. I don't know if you can see that, just slightly shimmering. It's just such a nice shimmer on that. And I've done that before. It's just easier, I find, especially whether it's colouring in with that or colouring in with the alcohol blends. I just find it so much easier to colour it in on a bigger piece of paper than on a small piece of paper. Right, so now we're going to die cut those images. So again, if you want to be brave and cut 2 images at the same time, you can do. So I'm going to do boots, which are about there. Actually, I'm not going to because they're a bit close together, and I do not want the dies to overlap. If they overlap, they will probably break each other. That's the only time I would say just be very careful if you do die cut more than one shape at a time. So now we've got some boots. Now we want to do the stalks. So I'm finding it difficult to line it up because I'm not directly above it. Normally I would go directly above it and then I can see exactly what I'm doing. But obviously I'll be in your way if I do that. So I apologise, these images may not be exactly lined up. What have I done with that? Oh, there it is. And then the last one to die cut is the flowers. Try and do is put the top layer on your dies, try and put it straight on top of it, and it saves it from moving around too much when you've already spent time lining it up. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's just get that out of the way. Okay, so now we've got all the elements we need to decorate it. I just have to remember that that's a die cut image and not that one. So we're going to again use the double-sided tape. I'm going to put that one down there, and then I'm going to put these boots. So I don't know if you can see that these have got quite straight edges and they just match up with the tops of the boots. Okay, and what you want to do is when you put this piece on is make sure you don't stick it to here, otherwise you're going to close the pocket. You want to make sure that it's stuck onto here. So I'm just going to do it across the bottom section. It's just just quite nice when it overlaps that level. And then you put in your seed packet, and there you have quite a nice gift. This would be really nice for Mother's Day, which would be in March. Really nice idea for that, or even if you've just got a friend who you know looks like gardening. It's just a really nice way of making a nice gift out of just a seed packet, especially if you like, you know, vegetables or something like that. You know that they like a particular flower, or even Valentine's. If you know that, you know, if your loved one likes their garden or their allotment or something, it's just quite a nice way. You can probably get a few packets in there. I reckon you probably get about maybe 3 packets in there, 2 or 3 packets. But yeah, so basically I've just chosen the colours that go quite nicely with the actual seed packet itself, complements it quite nicely. And there you have it. Quite a nice, easy one to do. You don't have to use it with a seed packet. You could put like an insert piece with some with your sentiment in it, and your, you know, whoever it's to and whoever it's from, or you could make a like a recipe card, or you could do a bookmark or something like that. But it's just quite a nice folder really to put something in. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, my name's Amanda Skelton. You can find me on Pinterest and Facebook as Amanda's Crafted Cards. All of these products are available, especially the celebration at the moment, because I think if you buy the rain boots and the dies, I think that comes to above £45. So if you bought those, then you can get these papers for free, which, why wouldn't you want something for free? So yeah, so that's a really good way of doing it, that you get, you know, all the images, but then you also get the papers to go with it, so that works out really well. You can view and buy the products at amandascraftedcards.stampinup.net. So yeah, I hope you liked it. If you want any more details, then please let me know. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.